Hi, my name is Fernando and I work for LA County Parks and Rec. Welcome to Let's Jam. Today I will be going over some introductory to the bass. Let's get to it. So before I pick up my bass in practice, I like to warm up my hands and get the blood flowing through my fingers. And a good way to do that is to stretch. So one stretch that I like to do is I stick my hand out and I bend my fingers backwards. And I hold that for about 15 to 20 seconds or so. Then I repeat the same process with my other hand. And then I also like to do this to stretch my wrist and forearm. Same thing with the other hand. When starting off, you might feel a lot of tension in your thumb or in your pinky finger, which is usually the weakest finger. And that's completely normal, but the important thing is that your hand is comfortable. A little bit of uncomfortableness is fine, but as long as there's no aching pain, then you should be fine. But another stretch that I like to do is I just like to pull my thumb back because there tends to be a lot of tension in this part of the thumb when you're clenching your bass. All right, so that was stretching. So with me today, I have a 4-string bass, and the strings in descending order are E, A, D, and G. Now when you pick up your bass, it's very important that it's in tune, and there are multiple ways to tune your bass. If you have a clip-on tuner, you can use that. If you don't, there are a lot of apps that you can download on your mobile phone that will tune your bass. The one I have with me today is called Tunable, and it works wonderfully. So you just put it against your bass or your amp, play the note, and it'll tell you whether you're in tune or not. Then you can adjust the string and go sharp, or you can change the pitch to go up or down until it's in tune. One way to check if your bass is in tune is by going on the 5th fret of the D string, which is the note G. And you can check that with this open G, and you can hear if it's in tune or not. And you can check that with all of the other strings as well. So here I have my finger on the 5th fret of the A string, which is a D, playing against the open D string. And then I have A on the E string with open A. So there are many different ways to play the bass, but the way that I will be teaching you today are with your 2 fingers, your index finger and your middle finger on your right hand. So I like to put my thumb on this pickup right here, and I just like to pluck with my index and my middle finger. So you can go ahead and practice that, and make sure that you're not using the tip of your finger, but a little bit lower so that you get that meaty part of your finger to really get a nice and full sound. So you can go ahead and practice that on each string. Today, we will be learning major scales. So we'll start with B flat major scale. So you get your 1st finger, which is your index finger on your left hand, and place it on the 1st fret of the A string. That's a B flat. So then you go ahead and go a whole step, which is 2 frets away, and on your ring finger you have a C. Then you have a D, open D string, and then you have E flat, which is 1st fret of the D string. Then you get your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, which is F, open G, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, which is A, and then 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, which is B flat. And there you have a B flat major scale. So this scale has 2 flats, And here it is. So we can go ahead and start with our chromatic scale. So a chromatic scale is a scale that incorporates every note in the musical alphabet. So if we start with our open string E, then we take our first finger, which is our index finger on our left hand, and place it on the first fret. That note is F. Then we take our middle finger on F sharp, which is the second fret, then our third finger, our ring finger, on G, which is on the third fret, our fourth finger, which is our pinky, on the fourth fret, which is an G sharp, and then we hit open A. And you can practice that going through each string to practice your chromatic scale. And then you can practice coming back down. So with your left hand, it's important that your left hand is comfortable and that there's no tension in it. So you want to make an arch with your fingers, and you want to use the tip of your finger to press against the fretboard, like so. Your thumb should be right across your middle finger, and that supports that's an anchor, or that's where the pressure is that supports your hand and your finger. So now let's talk about the fretboard. So as you can see, you have these little slits which separate each fret. So here you have fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, and so on. It's important to note that each fret is a half step. So on the A string, first we have A, B flat, which is a half step up, then we have B, which is another half step, and then we have C, which is another half step. So each fret goes up in half step increments. And if you skip 2 frets, that would be a whole step. So every 2 frets is a whole step increment. When you're beginning to learn how to play the bass, it's important to note that you have to be able to walk before you can run. And before that, you need to learn how to crawl. So you may find yourself getting a bit frustrated at times, but that's okay. With good practice and good technique, you'll get there. This is Let's Jam from Parks at Home. Please like the video and subscribe for more content.